Welcome to Dave's Bonsai and Bonsai Acres. How did I do, Dave? I had to get these glasses on so I could try to look like you. Dave's a good guy. Good guy. He's having a big bonsai expo on on Saturday, July 26th of 2025. The time 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So, yes, it's growing clip bonsai for seniors. But Dave, I had to do it for you. Today, Dave, we're working on your goldfish plant. I'm gonna compare mine with yours. But today is July 24th of 2025. It's Thursday, 78 degrees Fahrenheit or 26 degrees Celsius at about 6:09 p.m. in the evening. And I got all the times here so you can see it. Check out the expo. It's going to be great. It's going to have some great guest speakers like Nigel Saunders and a few others. Plus, he's got giveaway prizes. So tune in if you can. You know, in that amount of time, even if you come in and say, hello, Dave, for 5 minutes, Dave's going to be happy to appreciate and see you. So now Dave gave me his goldfish plant. So I'm going to repot it in number 2 chicken grit and cocoa core 50-50 mix. Because here is mine. I know I got to pull the weeds out of it. But you can see the different color on it. And it's starting to bloom. Whereas Dave's is a nice dark green color. Now, I don't know if it's two different varieties or because mine's starting to bloom, as you can see it right here. These just came out of the rain today. It was coming down real good for, I don't know, about a good half hour, but it was a good rain. And mine's starting to bloom, and that's because I put Dr. Earth in there. It was, that was last year, I think it was. I think it was like a 463 fertilizer. So when it's got a lot of deep dark green, unless it's a different species, Dave, I don't know. But sometimes it indicates too much nitrogen in the soil. And Dave never got this one to flower. So, can we get it to flower this year? First thing we're going to do, there's no roots growing out of it. And you can see the nice trunk Dave developed on it. So the first thing we're going to do is cut it. And if I can find all my tools. There we go. You know, nothing cuts wood like ironwood, Dave. So we're going to cut this branch right here that's, let's see if I can get mine out of the way. Get these old pots out of the way. Get this one over here. Now, I know I can't give it up close, but I got one coming out this way. We don't want it that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this one back as close as I can. I'm going to just rub my needle nose all the way to the edge of the branch and cut it. And then all you do is strip the leaves off, and maybe we can get some cuttings out of it. I'm just going to let it sit in water. We're going to just cut these high points off. I got this one growing real far out, so it's like an adventurer. So I'm going to go as close to the trunk as I can, and I'm going to put that in water. And then all we're going to do, see, this one's growing into the branch here, so we don't want none of these into there. So I'm just going to cut them close like that. And then the tops, like this one's coming out, but that's all right. I'm just going to cut it back to here. This way here it can bush out a little bit more. And then over here, we're going to cut this one to here. And the top, we're just going to cut them down just a little bit. I'm going to cut it to where this stops. Where this stops into here. So you run your shears down where you hit the leaf, cut it. I'm going to just let them soak. And then just one here. I think we can cut it to this leaf over here. Just like that. And we'll let them sit in there. And then I did fill up the water. And I'm going to put it into here. So we're gonna, I don't know what kind of soil Dave used, so we're just gonna check it out. And here's a bad leaf over here. So all I'm gonna do is take my needle nose and just cut it right above the other leaf. That one's no good. And then we're gonna take it out of the pot very gently. Push it through. That's a nice little pot they've got. I think we can still fit it in there. And you can see the massive root system on this. So we're going to stick it in the water. And I put some sand in there. We're going to take Nat's root rake from Bobcat Bonsai. And we're just going to rake it gently. And you're going to say, Tom, it's the almost the middle of the growing season. So will it grow? Well, I don't know. We'll check it out. Let me get some more water in here. Now these trees like a nice, well-draining soil. And Dave has some what is that, lava rock in there? It's a good mix. That's what I use on that's what I use from Ted's greenhouse. And I think he's got, this is like bonsai soil. And these roots are really embedded into it. And you can barely see the screen in there. So we're just gonna jiggle it in the water. Let me pull this down more so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, Dave's got some good shows. He bought his land so he can grow his own trees there. And check out his video, Bonsai Acres and Dave's Bonsai. But join his expo. Now he's got the knitting mesh in there, which is good. But you can see these roots are very tangled in there. So, I don't know if we can get a lot more of this out. I don't want to take too much off because I want to see if I can get this to grow. So I'm going to have to take my scissors here. I always have scissors for roots because I don't want to damage the cutting edges on my other ones. Just like that, we'll get that knitting mesh off. And then we'll just root rake it a little bit more. It's got a nice little root base there. Yeah, he's got bonsai soil in here. Exactly what it is, I have no idea. But it looks good. Now, we're just going to cut off a couple of more of these roots, these long ones, because we want to get it back into the same pot, just for now. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to stick it out. It's about 6:17. I'm going to stick this in where it gets some shade so it can recover. But I think this looks pretty good. I don't think we can cut a little more off, Dave. But I might, just so the tree grows, I can cut this little dead piece off here. Maybe cut this back a little bit more, because we took off a lot of roots there. Just a little bit back. And I think if we go down to here, and to here, and to here, and to here, it'll give this tree a nice chance to recover. Now this part here came off to about here where the leaf is. I can hardly see, but I'm going to leave it there because it's got the leaf there. I'm just going to prune it above that clipping of the leaf so you can see how nice it looks. Now, what do we do with that hole? I don't want the roots to get tangled up in there. So, let me get some unmilled sphagnum moss. Not a lot, just a little bit. Soak it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Let it soak up the water. And all I want to do is to press it into that hole. You're going to say, Tom, it's going to block the hole. No, it's not. It's going to drain nicely. You're going to say, Tom, it's going to get bugs in there. Hey, bugs, climb over the pot. And a goldfish plant is a good plant for you to start if you're just starting out on bonsai because they grow nice. Now, what is Tom going to do? Okay, the first thing we're going to do is wipe my hands. And you're going to say, are you going to use any beneficial bacteria? I don't have to because it's in Dr. Earth. So, here's my mix of chicken grit. And Dave, if you're up to the challenge, try mixing a 50-50 mix of chicken grit and cocoa coir and try a plant and see what you get. So, number 2 is about the best, so you can see how nice it looks. It's got a lot of grit, plus it's got a lot for drainage. So all I'm going to do is stick that little bit there. And we're going to take Mr. Spoon, move it around, like that. And then, till we meet again, till then. I forgot the name of that group that sang it. That's way back in the days. They were good singers. I don't know if it was the Mills Brothers. So I just put that much Dr. Earth in there because this, Dave, should help the roots to grow and for it to flower maybe later in the year. Well, we'll just see. But this is going to go into my recovery zone, and we're just going to mix it in a little bit. Let's see how we got this. Yeah, that might be good. So now we're just going to give a little more soil there. Going to make a little mound on there. Now this is organic mix, so it will not burn the roots. Okay, so we got this in. So now what's Tom going to do after that? Well, I'm going to take my sand mix, because I got that on there, because it's a little finer to get it into the sides here. And we're going to get Mr. Spoon. This is my my 1 part cocoa coir and 3 parts coarse sand. And we're just going to stick it into the sides. Just like that. And just put it in gently. There we go. And where is my chapstick? Here it is. And take your mighty chapstick and fire it in. Oh, fire it in gently on this one, because we want to get all the air pockets out. And use the back end just to get it in. Just like that. We'll take Mr. Spray bottle, get the dirt off, wash it in, wash it in. And this is good because it's going to rain tonight. And Dave's got some nice movement on this tree. So, let's get some more in there. See, in the little pots, this should really, really help it out. This fine mix. because in their climate they like a nice fast draining mix. Always when you do a tree, try to copy or mimic their growing conditions. Now, why did I use Dr. Earth for, what is it? It's a 463, because I want this tree to grow roots first. And I don't want a lot of new growth yet. There we go. Now we take Mr. Spoon's back in. Now that's good in case you got arthritis. The hand's good. So far, so good. We'll just take the soil like that. We had some nice fierce winds. Got this in there real good. And Luna's paying us a visit. And then we'll get Mr. Elephant. Mr. Elephant says to all the little kitties out there. So let's give it a nice watering. And it's draining out really good. There we go. There we go. Everything is in there. Just use your fingers, just like you're eating pie crust. When I used to eat cake back in the day and bake it with my mom, those were the days. But I learned now that I can't eat that stuff. So that's good because you don't get the arthritis attacks. Now, what did Tom do next? Oh, I'm going to show you something that we can decorate Dave's tree with. No, I don't tie my trees in with wire. I don't like that. I don't do wiring either. I just use the clip and grow method. Now, we can put our little birdie here. Now, how did I put the bird on this stone? Flourish super glue. All I did was wet the stone, put 2 little drops on there, stuck the bird on there, and within 5 seconds that bird was solid like a rock on there. So let's see, let's get this into here. Just like that. We get Whitey, our other spoon, and just put it on the rock. So it looks like the rock's in the soil. And we go from there. So Dave, fingers crossed this little guy survives, because I'm trying something new on it. On the other one that you've seen, I think I used Ted's mix on that one. But with this little pot, I had to go smaller. I had to use the number 2 chicken grit and then the sand mix on the top. There we go. So I'll put the date on there. And there's Dave's tree with the little bird on the rock. Something easy and simple to do, Dave. Beautiful tree, but let's see if we can get some flowers out of it. So don't forget, Saturday, July 26th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., possibly 4 p.m. See how it goes with Dave. Be there or be square. So today's Thursday, and what do you do on Thursday night? You grab a book. Grab a book. Put it in your hands. Feel the pages. Cup of tea on the side. Little light. Your easy chair. Sit down and read. And don't use those e-books, because you're so much on the phone it ain't funny. So you sit back, relax, and enjoy a good book tonight. No matter what you like, read. And that'll clear your mind from all this being on the phone. So you take care, everybody, and have a good day. And don't forget, go to Dave's Bonsai. And also view his other channel, Bonsai Acres. But the Bonsai Expo is going to be on Dave's Bonsai. July 26th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., possibly into 4 p.m. So Dave, good luck. I got to put a little tag in there. And the bird is in the tree, under the tree, in the shade, relaxing. Have a good night, everybody.